Another day, another media merger, and another late night show canceled? On September 17th, Nexstar affiliates announced that they were pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely. ABC then suspended his show across the board. All of this is happening while Nexstar is pushing a $6.2 billion merger with Tegna. So this isn't just about late night drama. This is about who controls what we see. Although a pulled show and a massive merger may not be directly connected, they're not random, and they're definitely part of a bigger media consolidation trend. I'll explain what's going on, why it matters to you, and what you should watch out for next. On August 19th, Nexstar announced that it would acquire Tegna in a $6.2 billion deal. Nexstar already oversees more than 200 owned and partner stations across the country in 116 markets. If the merger is successful, that would make Nexstar the country's biggest local TV owner. Founder and CEO Perry Sook said that FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr is going to provide the regulatory relief that they need for the deal to proceed. So despite those ownership caps that would normally block something like this, they're hoping that the current administration is going to make way for them by loosening regulations. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I do videos on film, physical media, and a lot of media commentary. So the upside for Nexstar as a corporation is lower costs and bigger reach. The downside for everybody else is like a homogenation of content. Fewer owners means fewer independent voices. The National Hispanic Media Coalition urged the FCC to not approve this merger, warning that one corporation controlling this much media stifles diverse viewpoints. So where does Jimmy Kimmel come in? The official reason given was comments that Jimmy Kimmel made on his show the night before, but it didn't end there because FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr went even further. The FCC chair urged broadcasters to stop airing the show, and he warned that stations could face backlash with their licenses if they failed to serve the public interest. Carr even said that Disney could handle this, quote, the easy way or the hard way, and said the FCC had, quote, remedies they could look at, end quote. You don't usually hear regulators talk like that. The Writers Guild and other groups also criticized ABC, Nexstar, and the FCC. WGA in Los Angeles and New York said, as a guild, we stand united in opposition to anyone who uses their power and influence to silence the voices of writers. In Carr's own words, after he thanked Nexstar, he said that this may be an unprecedented decision. So when an FCC commissioner publicly threatens Kimmel's broadcast, and then it gets pulled off the air, the timing makes it hard to ignore. This all comes at a time where the FCC is already under a spotlight. It's reviewing the massive Nexstar-Tegna merger. It's overseeing Paramount and Skydance's $8.4 billion deal. Are these networks making the decisions purely on their own, or does regulatory pressure play a role? Here's the regulatory piece. FCC rules cap national reach at 39% of households. So if this deal goes through, Nexstar would effectively reach more than 80% of households. That's more than double the current legal limit. Broadcasters argued in the past that ownership restrictions have become obsolete in an era where digital advertising dwarfs traditional television revenue. If you watched my Colbert video in July, you would know that Trump tweeted kind of celebrating when Colbert was canceled. He said, I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next. That leads us to September 17th, where Trump tweeted again, celebrating Jimmy Kimmel's being pulled off the air. Like I said earlier, this doesn't mean that everything lines up neatly, but they do operate in the same environment of corporate consolidation and regulatory pressure. So we have to keep that in mind. In the Paramount Skydance acquisition, the CEO, David Ellison, his father is now reportedly, I have to say, making a bid for Warner Brothers. So if that happens, then one family is going to have control over a lot of media because Warner Brothers controls HBO Max, Hello John Oliver, another late night staple. Whether it's late night shows or movies or, comedy in general, that is how fast the landscape is shifting, and it's moving quickly. And that's why I think it's so important to recognize how and where these stories connect. If big companies can pull shows or gut newsrooms, it really does show how much control one corporation may have over a lot of different voices. And I think that's why so many independent journalists are thriving right now on YouTube, on Substack, anywhere else, and why I try to support them. How do you think this plays into the larger media landscape? And what is your opinion about what went down this week? Let me know in the comments. If you want deeper dives on movies, mergers, and media ownerships, please hit subscribe and make sure to like this video.